of those days where millions are going to ask, where were you when? The most consequential Senate hearing in a generation, just hours away. Judge Brett Kavanaugh up against his accuser, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, both telling their stories from more than 30 years ago.
And here's a live look inside the hearing room where it'll all take place on Capitol Hill. That's where both Kavanaugh and Blasey Ford will face the Senate Judiciary Committee and a sex crimes prosecutor who will ask them about an alleged incident that took place when they were both in high school.
Overnight, we got our first glimpse of the prosecutor, Rachel Mitchell, leaving a meeting with Republican senators on Capitol Hill ahead of today's hearing.
And just ahead, we're going to hear from one of Blasey Ford's friends and also the lawyer for one of his accusers. But first, we begin with our senior national correspondent, Terry Moran, there on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Robin. The moment of truth is at hand, and there's so much at stake here. The Supreme Court for sure, but also so much personally at stake for Judge Brett Kavanaugh and Professor Christine Blasey Ford. Each has a life, career, reputation, family, friends, and children. So spare a thought for them today. And as this moment of truth arises, there are more accusations, more denials. One person is recanting. The pressure is just unrelenting. Just hours from now, Brett Kavanaugh takes on the fight of his life as he faces new allegations of sexual misconduct. And during today's high-stakes hearing, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford will speak publicly for the first time about what she says happened in the summer of 1982. Blasey Ford, then a Holton Arms School student, says she went to a party after a day of swimming. That's where she says Kavanaugh assaulted her, as his friend Mark Judge egged him on. In her prepared testimony, Blasey Ford will state, "Brett groped me and tried to take off my clothes. He had a hard time because he was so drunk and because I was wearing a one-piece bathing suit under my clothes. I believed he was going to rape me. I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from screaming. It was hard for me to breathe, and I thought Brett was accidentally going to kill me." Blasey Ford's attorney sharing this image of the professor taking a polygraph test administered by a former FBI agent after she decided to come forward with her story.
I had it independently reviewed by 4 other polygraph examiners, 2 are retired FBI, 2 are local law enforcement who have over 20 years of polygraph experience. All 4 of them also stated, based on the analysis of the polygraph charts, that she had passed the test. But Kavanaugh, in his opening remarks, will be unwavering in his denial, saying, "I am not questioning that Dr. Ford may have been sexually assaulted by some person in some place at some time, but I have never done that to her or to anyone." And he told Fox News earlier this week,
"I was not at the party described. I was not anywhere at any place resembling that in the summer of 1982.
Overnight, more allegations surfaced. A third accuser, Julie Swetnick. She's a few years older than Kavanaugh and a graduate of nearby Gaithersburg High School. She says in a sworn statement that she attended well over 10 house parties with Kavanaugh and Judge between 1981 and 1983. Writing, "I observed Brett Kavanaugh drink excessively at many of these parties and engage in abusive and highly physically aggressive behavior toward girls." According to Swetnick, that behavior included pressing girls against him without their consent, grinding against girls, and attempting to remove or shift girls' clothing to expose private body parts. She also claims to have witnessed efforts by Mark Judge, Brett Kavanaugh, and others to cause girls to become inebriated and disoriented so they could then be sexually assaulted in a side room or bedroom by a train of numerous boys. Swetnick alleges that Kavanaugh was present at a house party in 1982 when Swetnick says she herself was a victim of such an attack. Mark Judge released a statement through his lawyer saying Mr. Judge vehemently denies Ms. Swetnick's allegations. Kavanaugh's response? "This is ridiculous and from the Twilight Zone. I don't know who this is, and this never happened." In addition to this latest public accusation, we also know the Senate Judiciary Committee has been receiving anonymous, unsubstantiated allegations of misconduct, and there have been more than one person who have come forward to tell the committee that it may have been him, not Brett Kavanaugh, involved in the incident with Dr. Ford back in 1982. All this just adding to the chaos and the confusion and the pressure in the hours leading up to this hearing. Robin?
It certainly is, Terry. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.